buy an NFT, you have to buy it with Urethrium.
Stop! It is not called Urethrium. As in urethra, as in you pee from there. Hey everyone, it's me, Turd Girl One, and we are back. We are back again today. We are here. We are back today. We are back here together. Yes, we are. As you can see, my background is a little bit different. I did want to find a permanent spot to post up. I can have my double monitor set up for when I stream live. And I don't know, I'll figure out something to do behind me later on. This was a very last minute move. Maybe I'll put up one of those tapestries everyone was obsessed with in 2009. Speaking of live, you may have been catching me live. I'm probably going to try to do it every other Sunday morning. I don't know. Most of the time it's just me ranting at an empty chat room, but a lot of you do tend to catch that replay. So thanks for tuning into those. Oh, yeah, you also may have caught me on Chelsea Suarez's or CC Suarez's live about a week ago, probably longer. By the time that I upload this video, but the replay is there. You can watch me sort of flounder for words as I drink wine, but also there's some really great content creators that are on that live. It was a lot of fun, and I encourage you to check it out. I also did an impromptu live on Instagram with Mallory from I Don't Want No Huns. We just sort of talked through the whole Mandy Sue situation, and I was able to recommend a couple of books. So yeah. I have a lot of new subscribers, so thank you for joining me. If you don't know me, I am Turd Girl One. I do anti-MLM content with the intent of doing different content as well, but as I say in every video, it just hasn't happened. And this is no different. It hasn't happened. Today's video is going to combine two of my absolute favorite guilty pleasures. One, of course, is just watching MLM videos and watching MLM huns in their natural environment behaving like huns. The other, if you didn't know, is I like influencer drama and all of that. I love it. Some people have the Kardashians as their guilty pleasure. It's entertainment that you can watch and enjoy without thinking about anything, and you know it's bad, but you still want to consume it. Mine is paying attention to influencer drama. You will see me on Def Noodle's Instagram leaving comments all the time. It is my Kardashian. Some of the influencer scams that I do like to pay attention to closely are things like the Twitch gambling situation, crypto pump and dump scams, giveaway scams, coaching scams that like the Ace family did. Those sorts of things I unfortunately I pay attention to and I care deeply about. In today's video, we are going to watch some WFABB reels since they have entered the crypto NFT stock trading business or whatever. I don't know. I don't really need to elaborate too much on it. There are so many videos about this exit. I really just wanted to take a look at their reels and see how they are transitioning. If you aren't familiar, the too long didn't read version is basically WFABB is a Monet team, and their Monet team left Monet to pursue IGenius, which is I want to say it's hard to put into words what you get out of IGenius just from watching these reels. And I think it has to do a lot with the fact that these huns don't really know what they're talking about. They just sort of put together these reels that sound futuristic, high tech to make it sound appealing, but these reels say nothing.
I have been expecting you. Welcome to the metaverse. You are one of the first to use digital assets in this new form of wealth creation. Please listen carefully. This is going to be a very sexy. Let's begin.
I think she truly believes that having a video where Microsoft Sam's wife narrates somehow gives her the authority to speak on this sort of thing. It's bizarre.
Oh, come on. That's just not fair.
There's also the fact that you are using Paris Hilton to explain NFTs for you. Paris Hilton. Paris the heiress Hilton.
I didn't know how into NFTs you were. Do you guys know what that is? 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 Yeah, like 12 people know what it is. Well, 12 people know what it is. Well, I barely know.
Can you explain what an NFT is?
It's basically a digital contract that's on the blockchain, so you can basically have them sell anything from art to music to experiences, physical objects.
Now, I am not saying that Paris Hilton does not have the capacity or knowledge to speak on NFTs, because she might. I've seen her do quite a bit of tours where she is talking about NFTs on various talk shows. But I repeat, she is an heiress. If Paris Hilton wants to take a financial risk, she can take a financial risk. Paris Hilton is so incredibly rich that she could invest $100,000 into 10 different businesses, and if only one pays off, she'll definitely make her money back and then some. In addition to Paris Hilton, they have used other celebrities who have literally just said the word NFT, clipped it together and made videos. They have been re-uploading videos of Megan Thee Stallion reading a scripted dialogue about Bitcoin.
Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Like a wild stallion, it can't be controlled by anyone.
It's very doubtful that someone like Megan Thee Stallion, if she is trading Bitcoin or investing in crypto, she's probably not doing it herself. She's probably paid someone to make these investments for her, like an actual human, not an AI or robot, as these huns have been promoting. All of these clips seem to be provided by Game Changers, and it boasted that there would be an NFT bootcamp. This would have been a couple weeks ago now by the time I'm uploading this video. In those promotions for the NFT bootcamp, there is some implications that the WFABB group is going to be teaching this bootcamp. Spoiler, they do not, but we'll talk about that in a minute. In a couple of the compilations I have seen passed around, there is a clip of Logan Paul. Logan Paul was an interesting choice to include in these clips because Logan Paul has been involved in a crypto scam of his own. He was caught promoting a cryptocurrency called Dink Doink, but as it turns out, he wasn't really invested in them so much as it was something he helped create.
Dink doink, you're my favorite coin. Why don't you come on over? Take pictures of my feet, yeah. Why don't you take my little sister to the prom? Don't doink her, please. Dink doink.
Dink Doink was supposed to be a hip, cool crypto coin that was going to the moon, and Logan Paul was just the influencer providing information about it for his audience, but as it turns out, he had a hand in actually creating it. Dink Doink was just a pump and dump scam, and there's a lot of crypto out there that leaves its audience susceptible to these types of scams. Pump and dump scams aren't new, they're technically illegal. They're illegal and yet they still happen, much like a pump and dump scam in terms of crypto is when a new crypto coin is coming out and influencers are promoting it to basically artificially increase the value of a coin. Eventually, people like Logan Paul and his counterparts will sell that crypto, essentially dumping it, and the crypto becomes worth absolutely nothing. So what does that look like? We can see that the Dink Doink coin is currently worth 0.00000000000236 cents. You can see exactly where the dumping occurred. Anyways, I bring that up because I see absolutely no huns talking about the absolute risks that happen when you invest in crypto. If you are interested in hearing more about these influencer crypto NFT scams, I highly recommend CoffeeZilla's channel. I mean, if you don't know CoffeeZilla, where you been? He has some really great videos on a lot of these things. And like I said, my absolute guilty pleasure. Absolute. I do want to take some time to talk about the transition from Monet to this IGenius program that they are now a part of. I do not have the capacity inside of me, the willpower, the energy to describe and detail all of the chaos that surrounded the transition from Monet to IGenius. But I do just want to briefly touch upon some of the posts that happened as this transition occurred. If you are interested in hearing more about that drama, there are countless videos. I, of course, will link them below. Chances are you already know about this because this has been ongoing. It happened a while ago. This is one of the posts that I wanted to read in regards to that transition. It says, new rules. WFABB will be bringing more to the table, more value, more inspiration. More inspiration. That is a word. It is a noun. Many things provide inspiration. I don't think WFABB is one of them, but I digress. Starting with normalizing the grunt work that's required to build anything great. Starting with glorifying the grind. We aren't here to sugarcoat this journey. We are here to inspire you to push past your limits and to not give up on your dreams because you didn't know what it took to get there. So they're done with the pockets of time talk. They're done with the financial freedom, time freedom, work from your couch mentality. They're done with that. It is no longer the MLM ideology that we see again and again. It is about working hard, no excuses. You are not allowed to watch TV, Netflix. You cannot buy Starbucks. You are working nonstop until you hit your goals. You are going to be pushed to your limits with us. Pushed. They have taken everything that people liked about MLMs and they've really done away with it. I am going to be curious to see how this tactic works in their favor. Me personally, having to work this hard and be pushed to my limits for free, that's not going to happen. Anyway, back to these reels because I have so much more that I want to show you. I don't know how long this video is going to be. WFABB just provides the content. They are providers of content and I appreciate them. I suspect the reason I am so into their content now that they left Monet is that it's so obvious that they're kind of floundering about, that they don't really understand crypto, trading, NFTs, financial anything really. If you were to ask me a year ago, who do you trust the least to give you financial advice? I probably would have said techie crypto bros. I don't trust them. I mean, look at them. But today, it's these people. These people are the very last people on earth I would trust with financial advice, period. When they were in Monet, they were able to provide more content on hair care. They could do hairstyling. They could do videos on skincare products, on how to use their supplements. They had a lot more ways to make content and showcase the products and the opportunity. But this one, it's challenging because it's really just them selling a service. And that's it. Instead of seeing them do these informative reels where they do talk about products, we're seeing them do things like this. I don't know what this means. That doesn't mean anything, and yet almost everyone from WFABB has done a reel using this filter with the floating Bitcoin. I'm pretty sure they have like a calendar when it comes to what they upload and stuff like that. I don't know how it helps their business when they all have the same exact content, but I digress. I hate it. I hate this. It's this fake hot girl crypto mogul aesthetic that they're trying to create, and it's not working. It doesn't work when you are not telling us anything, when we don't feel like you actually know what you're talking about. Can we just take time to appreciate that these huns are ripping NFTs that belong to other people and just throwing them in their reels? The irony of an NFT being unique, right? Telling us what NFT stands for tells us nothing. The bootcamp that she's promoting happened a couple weeks ago now. The huns did not run the NFT bootcamp. They brought in experts to talk about how to purchase and invest in NFTs. The person that they brought in was a guy by the name of Jay Pell, and it went a little like this.
Thanks for the intro. And yeah, today we're going to learn about some NFTs. But real quick, in the chat, let me know if you have any NFTs. Just say yes or no. Oh shit, that's a lot of no's. All right. So we're going to do like NFT 101, I guess. But I'm sure you guys are seeing like all over Instagram, this guy sells an NFT for 2 million, this guy sells an NFT for whatever. It's all over the place. So the time to get it is now.
His webcam is driving me crazy with the focusing in and out. He also has the most crypto bro room I have ever seen. Like the floating shoe in the background.
A lot of people are like, you know, it's not worth the same as a physical painting. Like I have a painting on my wall. But who really sees that painting in your house? Only people that come over, right? With NFTs, the whole world gets to see what you own. So it's kind of like a flex, right? So people are like flexing physical art in their houses. Well, we're flexing, you know, whatever NFTs we have to the whole world. Nobody sees this piece of art on my wall unless, you know, you're coming into my house. Nobody's ever going to see it.
And there you have it. You invest in NFTs because of the clout. Why would you want something like a Picasso? Why? The entire bootcamp is available on YouTube. I don't recommend it. It was so boring. It was boring. After the bootcamp, you would think that they would have more educational reels to really tell us what they've learned, what they know, to really sell us on the idea that they are experts. No, that didn't happen. So for this reel, I unfortunately can't play it because I think the song that she has is probably going to be copyrighted. Not to mention she has the sound so freaking loud that you cannot hear what she's saying. So I'm going to reenact it. Hey there, I am at Subway. I'm going to get some lunch, eat fresh, blah, blah, blah. I have this card, something about crypto. I'm going to go ahead and pay my Subway with this card. It is Bitcoin. I am so futuristic. I am so cool. Clout. Do it for the gram. Lunch paid. $9. Crypto Bitcoin. Yes. Actually, this video was really weird because she didn't say anything. It's literally a video of her paying for Subway. The guy in the background just wants her to pay. He just wants her to put her card in the chip reader. Just pay. Just pay so he can go on break. I do have another video from her. It is unrelated to IGenius, but I had to include it. Consider this an intermission. It looks like she is a part of another MLM that is fitness related, but please just watch this video.
Everyone worked out so hard. It just made one of the hurdle. That just literally I just took off the waist shoulder and then it just all came out. I'm so nervous. Heat challenge round 16. That's what did it to me. It's still not too late to sign up. If you're ready to train and transform, let's go. Click the link in my bio.
I just want to recap that for you. A heat challenge that her and her team are putting on for their clients made her work out so hard, she threw up. But hey, there's still time to join the challenge. It's not too late. If a fitness challenge is making you vomit, you really need to reconsider. And in case you were wondering about that little picture of her over the toilet, yes, that was a picture of her dirty ass, puke-infested toilet. We aren't here to learn about fitness challenges though. We want to learn more about NFTs. So here's a Monet hun that's going to break down NFTs for us.
So people are making millions of dollars selling and buying NFTs. So let me explain it in hot girl terms.
Let me explain it in hot girl terms. I don't need the hot girl breakdown of anything. I just want transparency and the truth. That's all I want from them. That's all.
Let's say we want to go buy an LV bag. So we go to the store, we pick out a one-of-a-kind bag, and we cash out. Okay, the cashier is now going to give us an authentication certificate. We love the bag, but let's say about 6 months to a year later, we want to sell her. We go on, let's say eBay, which is going to be our OpenSea marketplace. So we end up finding a buyer, but the buyer is kind of, you don't really know if they have the money in their hand. They don't really know if the bag is actually legit, but we have something called blockchain. So that's where they can see all of our receipts. They're like, okay, legit. They got the bag at a legit Louis V store. Cool. And then we can also see, I can see if they have their money in their wallet. So that is how you buy and sell an NFT, but instead of Louis Vuitton, it is digital art.
Do they understand the gag between screenshotting NFTs and including it in their videos? Do they understand that that's a total gag? Do they get it? Do you get it? Again, this video isn't exactly telling me that she understands NFTs beyond what you can Google. Right now, she is comparing a physical object and an NFT. I think it almost does feel like a good analogy, but at its core, the analogy is simply a comparison between the blockchain and a letter of authenticity, or maybe signs that a bag is real. Other than that, the comparison is really gonna fall. The values of an NFT and a Louis Vuitton bag are gonna really be different. The value of a Louis Vuitton bag is somewhat predictable. It's gonna depend on the model, the condition, the rarity, maybe it's vintage, etc. Maybe a celebrity used it at a Met Gala and now it's the hot new bag. The value is going to depend on very predictable circumstances. The value of an NFT, however, is really not that predictable, and it is very, very risky. In fact, many people would compare NFTs to Ponzi schemes or pyramid schemes. Just saying. So that reel that she did on NFTs has actually been recreated. I shouldn't say recreated, but it's been done by most of the huns in WFABB. So there was a part 2, but I'm not going to use her part 2. I want to use someone else's part 2. Yeah.
Okay, you guys, I am back for part 2 on NFT, Hot Girl Edition. Okay, so let me explain this to you, okay? In order to buy an NFT, you have to buy it with Urethrium.
Did you hear that? Do you want me to play it again? I'll play it again.
In order to buy an NFT, you have to buy it with Urethrium. Urethrium.
No! 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 Stop! It is not called Urethrium. As in urethra. As in you pee from there. In order to buy NFTs, you need Ethereum. And here she is peddling that she is an NFT queen, calling Ethereum Urethrium. I am not taking financial advice from her.
In order to buy an NFT, you have to buy it with Urethrium. NFTs are on the Urethrium blockchain. We will talk about this another day. So, before you do that, you go and you download the app called MetaBass.
Keep in mind, she had to record this and then add the text afterwards. So the fact that she, one, mispronounced the currency used to buy NFTs and then listened to it, added the correct spelling, and still didn't think she needed to re-record. Crazy. Now, this mispronunciation killed me because she says Metabask, which isn't correct. She listened to herself say it. Then she added the text. Download MetaMask, which is still incorrect. It is MetaMask. Now, granted, if she were talking to me in real life, I would have stopped at Urethrium. But now we're 10 seconds into this video and she's adding another mistake. It's like, what did you learn? What have you learned since being a part of IGenius? If she is supposed to be the example of what IGenius can teach you and what their tools can do for you, I want no part of it.
And this is your wallet. This is where you can go and purchase Ethereum. Once you do that, you're going to go and create an account in OpenSea Market, and this is the marketplace for NFTs. It's just like eBay. And once you set that up, you're going to connect your MetaMask and your OpenSea account together. And this is when you can go and you can explore, you can look at different collections, you can pick and choose what it is that you want and purchase an NFT.
And that, my friends, was an ad for the NFT bootcamp. If that's what she learned, I don't even want it. Not even for free. So I have a couple more from her. I am living for her because this girl is just so confident in her reels that say absolutely nothing. She's the epitome of hot girl, boss babe, NFT mogul, while also just being the epitome of fake it till you make it. Wants to start investing and trading cryptocurrencies and other investments, but doesn't have any education and experience, no idea where to start. Girl finds a platform that educates you on everything A to Z on trading and investing in the marketplace, but also has artificial intelligence software from a third party, rocket ship, fire emoji, dance emoji. You did not find this platform. You have blindly followed leaders to this platform. She keeps saying that this program educates you on everything, trading and investing, one word, but she hasn't learned anything. This video was another honorable mention. When you and your girls find capital A, third, capital party, software, that's crypto artificial intelligence, and it does all crypto trading for you. Fire emoji, rocket emoji. All we do now is share it with the world. What? Why did you spell software that way? Why did you capitalize random letters? Software is another basic word that someone involved in NFTs, crypto, Bitcoin, stock trading, whatever, they're going to know that word. For the record, I'm not one of those people that is constantly correcting misspellings or mispronunciations. To me, correcting someone's spelling or pronunciation is typically, it's weak. It's a weak argument in a lot of cases. It's like when you're on Instagram and you see people arguing back and forth about something, whether it's like vaccines or conservatives or whatever it is, and one person makes a misspelling and the following argument is like the correct way to spell it with a little asterisk, do you know what I'm talking about? That to me tends to be a very, very weak argument in any sort of debate. It doesn't matter. But because she is considering herself an expert on something that she has been educated on, and she keeps saying that IGenius is providing education to her, she better be getting the very basic vocabulary of what she is trying to sell you. She better get it down. So that is the only reason why I am holding her pronunciations and misspellings against her.
Wait a minute. Oh, wait, first of all, you're not going to speed past that like you didn't just say what you just said.
This is very, very misleading. It says the youngest NFT millionaire is 12 years old. That NFT millionaire is not a millionaire because he invested in NFTs. He created NFTs. He made his money by creating NFTs and selling them to people who don't know what they're doing. Let me say that again. He made his millions by selling his NFTs to people like her. And as far as that NFT being worth 91 million, I could be wrong about this, but I think it was one digital art that he did, but there were 266,000 of them available. Someone did not just outright pay 91.8 million for this NFT. People probably bought multiple units of this NFT. Owning a unit of this does not mean you own $91.8 million. I have another one from her. It's muted because it's Ellie Goulding, I think is her name, and it'll be copyright striked or whatever. So this one says, me trying to show that there are systems, experts, and education that you can leverage in order to obtain financial fitness. There she is pretending to talk to someone. Them scrolling and not understanding that I have access to a system that only rich people can afford. Rich people do not have to worry about being educated on NFTs, on trading, on crypto. They just don't. And they're certainly not going to rely on an AI that is basically going to give the same exact tips to every single person. If an AI is going to be able to identify which NFTs or crypto are worth investing, then that AI is going to provide the exact same advice to everyone utilizing it. A lot of rich people have someone that they go to help manage their money, to help give them investment ideas, an actual human being. Someone that went to college to learn about how to invest in things safely, at low risk. They are not using the same system that you are, hun. Can I ask the question, like, do we know if any of these huns have actually bought NFTs or crypto? When it comes to crypto, we mostly hear about Ethereum and we hear a lot about Bitcoin. Both of these cryptocurrencies are very, very expensive if you want to buy them outright. If you want one Bitcoin, you are going to have to put down $37,000, almost $38,000. In many stock trading apps, you can buy cryptocurrency and you can buy fractions of them. So if I paid 10 US dollars to get a fraction of a Bitcoin, which is currently valued at that, I would have this fraction of a Bitcoin. So that would be 0.000265, etc. worth of a Bitcoin. So investing in Bitcoin is going to be very, very expensive. In fact, the best way to get Bitcoin would be to mine for it. You've probably heard things about how mining for Bitcoin is extremely bad on the environment. And if that's been confusing to you, I'll lay it down for you in hot girl words. Okay, maybe not hot girl words because I'm still a little confused myself. As a Bitcoin enters circulation, it belongs to no one, but someone wants to find it. If you become the first to find it, you get what it's worth. But how do you mine for Bitcoin? Don't think of Bitcoin as a currency. Think of it as a complex equation. We might be able to calculate in our head, but it takes a very, very long time. Computers are much better at processing information and calculating information more than we can. Think of prime numbers. I could sit here in front of you and start naming off prime numbers. 1, 3, 5, 7, 11, etc. I go on. And at first it's very, very easy. But as the numbers get larger, you can't just sit there and think of it. There are calculations that we can run to find every prime number. I can't sit here and do it, but my computer can. So I can run that equation in my computer and it'll pull up all of the prime numbers for me. However, what you need to calculate to find that Bitcoin is so incredibly complex that a basic computer can't do it in a timely manner. In order to be able to run multiple calculations at once, ongoing 24/7 to continue to mine for Bitcoin, you are going to need a lot of power. And it's probably going to look something like this. These operations will require a lot of electricity, a lot of power, a lot of money. The reason I bring up all of this at all period is because I want to know how these girls are buying their cryptocurrency. I want to see all of these girls' wallets. I want to see what NFTs they own. I want to see how much that they have spent on Ethereum or invested in Ethereum. I want to see how much they've invested in Bitcoin. The safe, reliable crypto that we hear about is very expensive. I showed you what Bitcoin is worth. This is what Ethereum is worth. Still, $2,500. Ethereum is almost the same as buying stock in Amazon. And which one do you think is going to be a little bit more reliable? So this is someone else in WFABB, and I don't know what she's going to tell us, actually. I forgot what this video is. I want to make money in NFTs, but how? Me giving free NFT education on my TikTok and IG all week. Okay, she posted this 3 days ago. Let's see what NFT education she is providing for us on Instagram. When I'm having a bad day freaking out, but I remind myself that I am bad bitch out here making money from my phone. Okay. Welcome to your window to success. Want to live life for a living? It starts with mindset, personal development, discipline. You. Okay, so far, no NFT advice. And can I just say, may I say something? Can I say something? I don't know what it is about people in MLMs, but specifically Monet. And I know they're no longer in Monet, but they're taking on that Monet aesthetic and they're just bringing it somewhere else. They love this. They love to look out a window of an airplane and share that view on their reels. Why? People in MLMs love to take things that are totally attainable for those that make a very modest living, like flying in a plane, and they try to make it seem luxurious and that it's something you can only get from network marketing, and I'll never understand it. Not everyone has the ability to pay for a flight. I totally get that. However, people that make a modest income are able to fly to Las Vegas for less than $100. This video is a really good example of how they take very mediocre, middle-class lives and try to make their lives seem like they have become any different. Let me just play it.
I go from this to this.
At its core, it gives nothing. So in the first half, she really showcases her house. She showcases her taking care of her baby. This was her life before she had WFABB. Call me crazy, but I don't see anything wrong with this. Her house seems pretty nice. It looks like she has a new baby that's super cute. I don't see a problem with this. I think she's trying to play off this. I was a busy mom having to take care of my child all the time, no time for myself. I think that's what she was trying to showcase. But if you look at the second half, they are simply pictures of herself with no context. No context. Context, zero. Without context, this could just be her in a hotel lobby. All of these pictures could have been taken on the same trip. This looks like a fake desk as well. I don't know if this was like on their Monet trip. And the reason I say that is because there's this really weird piece of paper here that just says daily schedule in really large letters. These pictures do not prove her life has changed at all. There's no evidence that she bought a new home, a bigger home, a nicer home. There's no pictures of her home whatsoever featured in the second half, which leads me to believe she lives in the same home. These are just pictures she took in places that she felt had a certain aesthetic. This picture, she's on a beach in a cute bikini. I could drive 10 minutes and take this exact same photo. These are not things that are unavailable to people like you and me. It doesn't showcase that someone is living a better life than anyone else. When you break down WFABB's reels, it's a whole lot of nothing. Shooting fake money out of a money gun. Nothing. It is nothing. It gives nothing. It says nothing. All it tells me is that they are willing to spend money on photo shoots to make their lives look a little bit better. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You know what that reminds me of? If you aren't familiar with that meme, that is Carlos Matos, who was an enthusiastic hype man for a company called BitConnect. He was used by BitConnect to promote a $2.5 billion Ponzi scheme. And anyways, that energy was the same. So yeah. You're really going to buy Ethereum right now instead of a new Dior bag. Why does it have to be either or? Weren't you like a boss babe in Monet? Can't you afford both? This is the financial advice I was looking for. Again, I say, let me see your crypto wallet. Because if you did invest in Ethereum, I want to see the receipts. I don't think any of them have invested in crypto. Given the partnership between IGenius and WFABB and how incredibly strong this bond seems to be, I feel like someone got money to move over to IGenius. I have no evidence of that. I have no proof, but it just seems odd. Everything seems odd. The idea behind IGenius also is very confusing to me. It sounds like they themselves are just selling a training tool. That's not their training tool. It seems like it is Game Changer's training tool, and they are providing access to a service that is not their service. They are just sort of being the liaison between this service and people like me who are just normal people that don't trade for a living. Even more so, it's like IGenius is the liaison between IGenius and their independent consultants, and then their independent consultants are the liaison between IGenius and us. And so we are like a couple connections apart from whoever is actually providing these services. I don't know if that makes sense. I do want to go back to the reels, but there was a quick portion of this that I just kind of wanted you to listen to.
IGenius is owned by a publicly traded company called Investor, and I think this is really important because there's so much stuff on the internet. We don't know what's real, we don't know what's fake, there's just a lot of information, right? Well, guys, we're actually owned by a publicly traded company, so you can see our financials, you can see what's going on behind closed doors, you can see the business and make an educated decision for yourself if this is something you want to be a part of.
This to me is very, very, very misleading, and I don't know anything about IGenius. I don't know anything about InvestView, but what I do know is that being owned by a different company is not reflective of your own performance. Take, for example, Kendo. Kendo is a parent company that owns a lot of cosmetic and skincare brands you may have heard of, including Fenty Skincare, Fenty Makeup, Marc Jacobs, Bite Beauty, KVD, which was formerly Kat Von D. While Kendo was looking very, very successful, mostly to do with the success of Fenty, Fenty Cosmetics and their skincare brand, Kat Von D was having a really, really hard time staying afloat, mostly because of all of the controversy surrounding Kat Von D. Eventually, they made the decision to departner with Kat Von D because the brand was truly suffering. Kat Von D is no longer associated with Kendo, and they have renamed their brand KVD. It stands for something. If InvestView is a good parent company that is very successful, I don't know anything about them, but it does sort of look like they stole the AT&T logo. It is not indicative of iGenius's performance on its own. It's misleading saying, oh, you can have all the information about us by checking out InvestView's stock. No, you can't. That's a lie. On the Game Changers Instagram, they have 31,000 followers, but as you can see here, the engagement is a little bit tragic. This post has 95 likes, 86 likes, not even 1,000 views. Their followers most likely paid for. This is sort of the culture that they breed at Game Changers. It says, why you will always be poor. So we're starting off strong with the poor shaming. Love it. Love it. You are not investing money in yourself. Investing money in yourself, again, something that people with money or generational wealth can do, not something that everyone can just do. You think you know everything. This seems like a direct jab at those who have doubts about crypto and NFTs. Not wanting to invest in Bitcoin or Ethereum or NFTs or even stocks does not make you a clown. It may mean you are not in a position to take that financial risk. Does that say you are wasting money? I feel like that should be wasting. That's very subjective. People in MLMs like to say things like Starbucks is a waste of money, Netflix is a waste of money, whereas I feel that joining an MLM is a waste of money. It's all about perception. You are thinking, oh my God, what is this? What is Game Changers? You are thinking job will make you rich. No. I mentioned this on a live the other day. What I make now allows me to live very comfortably. I was able to buy my home. I was able to buy my car. I'm able to provide for my little animals. I'm able to provide for myself. For the most part, if there is something I want, I can buy it. I have that disposable income because I don't have kids, quite frankly. So no, I don't think my job will make me rich, but I do feel like I'm in a very good place and I feel like that's enough. I do not feel like I need to be rich to have a good life. I do believe that money puts people in better places to make their lives more comfortable. And I know not everyone has the same luxury that I do to simply live a comfortable life, but I also don't need to be rich. And this slide is why you will always be poor. You're already poor shaming, but now we're kind of going into this like middle class shaming. Like if you're anything below rich, you're not where you should be. Anyone can be rich. And if you're beneath rich, it's because you're not a hard worker, you're not productive. I just want to say that none of these things mean that you will be poor for the rest of your life. MLMs continuously promote that being poor is just not it. You just don't want to be poor. You can be anything in the world, but God, please don't end up poor. If you are poor, it is your choice and you will be poor for the rest of your life, and that is your own fault. We see this rhetoric in MLMs, but it does seem to be very prevalent in bro crypto culture. It's the same people who feel like Jeff Bezos should keep every single cent he has ever earned, and the same people that get a boner every time they hear the name Elon Musk. So in this Huns video, it says, if you're not financially free, it most likely isn't your fault. And you're like, wow, that seems compassionate. Many of us weren't taught how to earn money other than hourly wages, but because you came across this video, you can now take control and change all of that. This is your sign. Take it. Take the leap of faith. Come join me. I made this video when you need it most in your life. That is not why people are poor. People are poor because of circumstances they cannot change. People are poor because of where they were born, what race they were born, because they were born with certain health conditions, because they were born a certain gender, what sexuality they identify with. People are born into situations where their family hasn't accrued generational wealth, or they're born into an environment or a location that doesn't have resources or assets to serve its people. Poverty is cyclical. If you are born poor, it is going to be incredibly hard to get out of it. I promised that I would never talk about this person again, but I do have to bring up this post because I feel really heated and I suppose triggered by this idea of what creates poverty and how far off base these Huns tend to be from it. How to generate wealth. 1. Find out what poor and middle class people are doing or think is a scam. Invest in the scam. In her description, she writes, find out what middle-class people are doing, then do the opposite. If middle-class people knew how to generate wealth, then they wouldn't be middle class. Again, we are beyond poor shaming. It is not cool to be poor. Do not be poor. Don't do it. But also don't be middle class. They'd be wealthy. I've seen so many poor and middle people bashing things like Bitcoin, crypto, Forex, NFTs, and MLMs, but I rarely see wealthy people bashing these things. I do. I see people bashing it all the time. Wealthy people make bad investments all the time, but you don't hear about it because they have the resources to take those financial risks. And for wealthy people, do they really want to share when they weren't successful? Of course not. It is important to remember that whoever you're taking financial advice from, you're adopting their lifestyle. Nope, not true. If Jeff Bezos started a podcast about financial security and I watched it every day and took all of his advice, I would not end up like Jeff Bezos. I would not. She just says stuff. She says stuff. She just makes stuff up as she goes. And so many people are afraid to do something different because it's not popular amongst the other broke people in their small-minded circle. So they say mediocre in exchange for acceptance. I don't even know what that means. She says some people are afraid to do something different because it's not popular. Okay, friend, we're not in high school anymore. We don't not do stuff because it's not popular. We have probably assessed the risk and we've decided it's not for us. And don't mistake mediocre for comfort. I am by no means a wealthy person. I have comfort. Many people would love to be where I am. Many people would love to have decent health insurance, a decent income. They'd love to own their own home. They'd love to be able to buy a new car, but they will never have that opportunity because of circumstances they cannot control. Every person on this planet deserves access to good health care. They deserve a roof over their head. They deserve a way to get around, whether that is a car or decent public transportation. Every person should be able to get groceries monthly. These are basic needs of every human being. People should not be denied them because they don't make a certain amount of money or their job isn't considered productive enough that they deserve those things. This mentality is absolutely toxic. No one should be working full-time at a minimum wage job and not be afforded those things, but it happens all the time in the United States. So I did want to talk a little bit about a theory I had, and I wanted to save it for the end because I thought it could be a little bit long and I wanted to give you the option to tune out, but I think you might find it interesting. So as I was editing this video a couple days ago and I was editing the part about pump and dump schemes, it got me thinking that an MLM would be the perfect model to run a pump and dump scheme on a cycle. Before I get into that, let's just recap a little bit. So a pump and dump scheme is when the value of a coin is artificially inflated by the way of promotion, essentially hyping it up or pumping it up. I also wanted to remind you that IGenius has talked about a robot or AI that would do the trading for you. And at first, this didn't make sense to me because it would mean everyone would be taking the same financial advice and making the same investments. But it does make sense in this theory I have. The last thing I wanted to remind you is that crypto is highly unregulated.
While cash in your wallet is issued and regulated by governments, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency. Like a wild stallion, it can't be controlled by anyone.
So with all that in mind, how would this work in IGenius? Let's say I was the founder of IGenius and I decided to come out with a crypto coin. Let's call it BitTurd. I could tell the robot to pump it up and trade BitTurd. So now everyone utilizing the AI will be investing in BitTurd. This also means that WFABB and anyone else in IGenius will be pumping it up on social media and investing in it themselves. Remember that Instagram followers of WFABB are other huns, some are still in Monet, some are in other MLMs, but essentially they have followers that have been vulnerable to MLMs and get-rich-quick schemes. Even if they don't want to join IGenius, they can still invest in the coin if they believe in the hype through other free trading apps. In fact, even most bank apps now have places where you can trade crypto. So now not only do we have everyone who is an independent contractor in IGenius investing in BitTurd, but these contractors are also giving free hype to the coin and they're doing it to other vulnerable people. When the coin is finally released, the founder of the coin, which would be myself in this scenario, and anyone else that I included in the scheme, can dump the coin at its highest value, leaving everyone else, the independent consultants, the huns, anyone who invested in the coin that wasn't in on the scam, with nothing, with a huge loss. And how would this work on a cycle? When crypto scammers use influencers like Logan Paul, it is sort of a one-shot deal. Their followers may be a little bit more savvy. Think fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And it's also very expensive. You have to pay that influencer to promote it, and they're also going to get a little share of the scam. With huns, you don't have to pay them, and they don't want to admit failure or that they've lost money. So this means that they will pretend the service they sell and the crypto that they've invested in has been 110% successful. And you could just repeat the scam. After I spent way too much time creating this theory and overthinking everything, literally a quick Google search brought me to some of my answers. There's plenty of posts detailing what IGenius and Game Changers are potentially up to. I wanted to read this one because after I had recorded this video, it just sort of confirmed a lot of the things I had said throughout the video. The title was called IGenius, Game Changers, Endotech, Crypto AI, and DAU Review. It is an exit scam. It says, here's some history for those who have been given info about any of the above. They are associated with a company called IGenius. This company has rebranded from Kuvera Global and before that, Wealth Generators. Google any of these names and you will see what I mean. It seems that they sell the same failing products time over time and they rebrand them, calling them different names. I know this because I knew someone who joined their company once and went to meet with their corporate team. Their corporate finances are not good. The company was losing money at the time and couldn't afford to pay its employees properly. Being owned by a different company is not reflective of your own performance. It seems like their strategy is to continue to rebrand and run exit scams. They have also pumped their stock in various cryptos, the last being Zoom Coin, which crashed hard after affiliates claimed it would be worth $2 from 0.05 cents. So this does change my theory a little bit in terms of me thinking that they could just reuse the same MLM huns over and over and over. If this scenario plays out with WFABB, there is an end. Chances are they will use WFABB once to do a pump and dump scheme and then drop the company altogether, rebranding as a different company later on. It's going to be a cycle in the sense it's going to continue to be in an MLM format, but in my initial theory, I was thinking that they were just going to use the same MLM huns over and over again. That being said, even if it does come to an end where WFABB is no longer associated with IGenius because IGenius or whatever ends up being dumped as a company, WFABB will probably not speak on it whatsoever. Again, they don't want to admit failure. They don't want to admit that they've lost money in an MLM. They don't want to admit that something they were promoting cost so many people to lose money. So they're probably gonna keep quiet about it. The conversation surrounding IGenius is probably gonna be diluted, leaving the people that run the scam free to do it again because very few people will be talking about it. The last thing I wanted to talk about was the Zoom coin mentioned in this paragraph, which supposedly crashed hard after affiliates claimed it would be worth $2 from 5 cents. Now, that doesn't seem like a crazy amount of money to lose or make, but it's really not about the value of the coin. It's about the initial investment and the growth rate of the coin. So here's my calculator. We're just going to kind of break it down in a way that's a little bit more tangible. Let's say I want to invest $100 and we can see that the coin was initially valued at 5 cents. If I divide 100 by 5 cents, you can see that that would be 2,000 coins I would own. So if I had 2,000 coins and the value went from 5 cents to $2, that $100 investment would become $4,000. And that sounds pretty dang sweet. But if that coin tanks from 5 cents, even to, let's say, 4 cents, I end up losing $20. It's not a whole lot, but it's still a loss all the same. And for a lot of the people in this MLM, they probably can't afford to lose $20. If the value went to 3 cents, that's a $40 loss. When I pull up the entire life chart of the coin, you can see where it gets pumped and dumped. I mean, there's extreme highs and extreme lows. The coin has never in its life reached $2, not even close. In fact, the highest it's ever got is 0.09, so not quite 10 cents. That being said, if I were the scammer and I invested in the coin when it was worth 5 cents, again, it's not the value of the coin, it is the growth rate of the coin. And then I dumped it when it hit nearly 10 cents. No matter what, I would be doubling my investment. While a hun might make a more modest investment, like $100, myself, a scammer, knowing that I will successfully scam these people, I can invest a lot more. I know it's just a doubling the initial investment, but I like to use the calculator because I think it's a really good visual for people who are visual learners. So let's say instead of investing $100, I'm going to invest $10,000 because I know I'm going to scam these people. If I divide that by 0.05, which is the value of the coin currently, I would have 200,000 coins. So now I'm going to dump the coin as it reaches almost 10 cents. So I'm going to multiply the 200,000 coins I have by 0.097. And now my $10,000 investment has almost doubled at $19,000. I will end my assumptions, my theories, my what have you here. But if you want to keep track of IGenius and their nonsense, I recommend following Exposing IGenius on Instagram. They are keeping us all up to date on IGenius and their nonsense. They may have even talked about this. I may just be speaking about something that has already been talked about, but yeah, I can be late to the party too. So what have we learned today? When it comes to NFTs, not very much. They have taught us nothing. I can't give you financial advice. I can't tell you what to do or what not to do, but just know crypto, very, very risky. Look out for those pump and dump scams. It pains me that they have not even discussed all of the scams that regularly occur within NFTs and crypto. It's alarming. Also, the people that they idolize who are talking about NFTs and being a part of NFTs are people that have money and they can take financial risks. And the last thing is that it is pronounced Ethereum, not Urethrium. And that's it. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. As always, please comment, like, and subscribe. If you have been watching me and you haven't yet subscribed, I would appreciate it. I'm not close to 500, but I'm not far from 500. So I'm trying, we're going. That's it. That's all I have. That's all I have.